To chat about hijab. As a young woman, as a young educated professional woman, what does hijab mean to you?
Okay, hijab is considered as a mark of piety and modesty, and basically it's the obedience to our Creator Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. Because what is obedience? It's worship in Islam. Ibadah is a form, like it's you have to put it into action to bring it into worship. So that's like obedience is a basic thing. So and also the intention of the hijab is primarily intended to protect the woman from lustful eyes. And what I consider it's like it's nothing to be shy about. It's like the crown of Islam, and it's like an announcement of your faith. It's a flag that it exists in every country in the world, and it's also like a reminder to the others about the sincerity of a Muslim woman to her Creator. So, and also the women are not objects to be stared at in public, and the beauty of a woman is her greatest asset that Allah has blessed her with. It's like it's a source of her izzah, it's a source of her honor, and she can either abuse it or protect it with the hijab. And also the thing is, women in Islam are considered as precious as pearls and diamonds, and many people don't know that, but pearls and diamonds are like precious things. Where do you find pearls? We find pearls deep down in the oceans, and they're always covered in their oyster. That's how the shine remains. And also diamonds, we don't find them easily available. You have to go down into the mines and dig for them, and that's how beauty is. It's supposed to be hidden. It's precious. So that's how the Muslim woman should be, and that's the basic thing what we have to understand, because in today's world we're so influenced by Bollywood and Hollywood, and we have more exposure to these things which are unnecessary, and we need to just cut down on that a little bit. And the basic thing, what as a reminder for the Muslims, would be reading about the Sahabiyas and about the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and their stories, because that is the basic thing that will give the person a strength to take the step forward.
Oh, wonderful. How do you understand the internal and the external hijab?
Yeah, some people say, like, they give an excuse for not wearing, like, this is out of my experience, like some of my friends were like, I would love to wear the hijab, but I saw this one and she wears it, but she's not so good. Like, there's some girls in college, they wear the hijab, but then they're hanging out with the guys. And then there are some who are very pious, but it's just that they've not been encouraged to wear the hijab. So it has to be a balance of the two, and we shouldn't take that as an excuse for not wearing it, because the internal hijab is much more important than the external. So the women who are hesitating to wear it, you need to first work internally on your hijab. For example, lowering of your gaze, and following the little commandments, or the way a woman speaks. She shouldn't be too pleasant in her speech to a man who's not related to her, and she shouldn't be because shyness is now considered backward, and being bold is considered to be you're progressing. But in Allah's eyes, haya, it's supposed to be, being shy is like a branch of iman. It's one of the biggest branches of faith in Islam. So that is a quality which we shouldn't leave behind. It should stay with us, because it is more superior in Allah's eyes. And so first we have to work on our internal hijab of lowering your gaze and such things, and then the perfection of that comes with the physical hijab, where you feel the protection. After you start wearing it, you automatically feel your doors just open for you, and it's like you just keep on getting guided and getting closer to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. Okay. And there's nothing to lose in that. It's just like blessings and blessings coming your way.
Do you think it's a more of a challenge for today's youth?
Yeah, it is, of course, because as like for me, I grew up in a society where my friends, none of them were Muslims, and nobody, even if I had Muslim friends, they were not wearing the hijab. And we've been brought up in Bombay, which is so influenced by Bollywood, so it's like 24 hours exposure to the television and music and advertisements and magazines. So we don't have people promoting the hijab or Islam, and I never heard of it until I just got an email about the hijab, and then I sat on the net, and I would stay up and read about it, and then I just started getting convinced. But it's a very big challenge. Maybe that's like a test for a Muslim woman. Each one is tested in a different manner, and maybe for a Muslim woman that could be the biggest challenge, because for me the hijab is like the most bitter pill for a Muslim woman to swallow, one who's not brought up in that kind of an atmosphere. So to leave behind your lifestyle and to change wearing a scarf and covering yourself in public, it could be a shock to many friends or many family members. Okay, why suddenly she's become like this and she started wearing it and all. But we know why we're doing it, and we know it's for the sake of Allah and for the pleasure of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala.
Yes, indeed. And do they frown upon you when they see you wearing
my friends, like initially when I entered it wasn't overnight. It was like a gradual. It used to be on and off in the beginning, but then once I made up my mind, it has to stay. So then there were like a few friends who were wondering. The ones who understood it respected it a lot, but there were some who were just wondering, it's not necessary, it's not needed. It's more important to be a good human being and all. But everybody knows it's important to be a good human being and all those things. But these are little things which we, the shaitan tries to fool us and belittles these qualities, acts which are really great, and it's supposed to be a part of the deen. It's not, Allah would never reveal anything which is unimportant. Whatever was revealed was important. That's why the Prophet ﷺ said that to us to follow. And the ajr, the reward in the akhirah is really great for these small acts of obedience that we do for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Yeah. And how did you decide, or rather, let me put it this way, do you think it's a good idea for the elder persons to force a young woman to wear hijab if she doesn't understand what it's all about?
Yeah, because it has to come from within, or it's not going to stay. Like even I've got younger sisters, like I never tell them, and you should never look down upon somebody else because you were once there. It's not that if I start wearing the hijab now, so I'm going to look down upon everybody else who's not, because I feel now I'm superior in my deen or in my taqwa. Because the minute you do that, then it's no point of you covering that's you've lost the basic thing of Islam. So the thing is, we have to just encourage them and try to convince them, and they need to take their time, to decide. Because if I'm telling somebody, or if my dad is imposing it on me, maybe it'll just be for the sake of your father, or for your husband, or for the one who's influencing you. It's not coming from within for the sake of Allah. So the true beauty and the ibadah that you feel when you put it on yourself, it's something different compared to when someone else tells you to do it.
Yes, I'm sure that everybody kind of looks at you in admiration as well.
Yeah.
Okay. After the break, we will be chatting to Ambreen. Also, she's told us a little bit about her journey into wearing hijab, but we'll chat to her and just unpack that and find out from her what that was like. Do stay tuned. This is Methods of Survival, guiding you to healthy, long-term and positive relationships.